Hi, welcome to Cloud Eagle's Insights in Minutes. You know, it's wild to think just how much companies rely on SaaS apps now. I saw stats saying most businesses juggle over 370 SaaS tools every month. With that many moving parts, it feels like a security nightmare waiting to happen.
That number always stops me in my tracks. The more apps you have, the more doors you're leaving open for cybercriminals, especially since 73% of breaches now come from unprotected SaaS applications. It's not just big corporations, either. Small businesses are especially juicy targets because they often skip those vital security steps.
Right. And it's not just about keeping out hackers. Even one mismanaged app or a forgotten privileged account can expose sensitive data, cause operational chaos, or land a company in regulatory hot water.
And that's the kicker. Regulations are ramping up. If you mess up, fines can hit millions, not to mention the cost to your reputation. But honestly, I think what gets overlooked is all the internal risks. Accidental data leaks, permission creep, or staff using apps outside the IT radar. Shadow IT, basically.
Totally. That mention of shadow IT leads directly into the next challenge: visibility. Because if you don't see it, you can't secure it.
What really gets me about SaaS security is how quickly things spiral out of control. A single team adds a new tool without telling IT, and suddenly you've got unsanctioned data flowing who knows where.
Exactly. And managing access is a headache. Manual onboarding and offboarding is slow and error prone. You miss one step, and a former employee might still have access to sensitive data months after they left.
Or take third-party integrations. Each one expands your attack surface. One loose connection and attackers could slip in through the side door, bypassing your toughest defenses.
And let's not forget compliance. Between GDPR, SOC 2, and industry specific rules, it's easy to get bogged down just trying to keep paperwork straight, let alone prove you're actually following the rules.
All these headaches are exactly why having a structured SaaS security checklist is so powerful. It gives you a repeatable, auditable way to keep tabs on everything, even as you scale or bring in new apps.
Speaking of structure, the checklist isn't just a formality, it's the playbook for real world threats. We should break down the core pillars that make up a solid SaaS defense. Let's walk through what really needs to be on that checklist. Identity and access management comes first: multi factor authentication, role based controls, the works.
Multi-factor authentication is a game changer. It blocks 99.9% of unauthorized logins just by adding that extra step. But I'm a big fan of zero trust too. Never assume anyone is safe, always verify. And role-based access really helps prevent accidental leaks by restricting people to only the data they need.
Data protection is next: encryption at rest and in transit, plus regular backups. You want to make sure that even if something slips through, the data is unreadable or easily recoverable.
And then there's configuration hardening. Default settings are almost always insecure. If you toughen up your SaaS app settings and enforce policies, you block easy wins for attackers. Monitoring and detection, especially for shadow IT, should be constant.
Exactly. Incident response rounds it out, having a plan for when something happens, not if. And the final piece: governance and compliance. It's not just about ticking boxes, but ensuring your business can prove and maintain security even as threats evolve.
All these layers build real resilience. But the devil's in the details. Let's talk about how to actually roll out these controls day to day. When you get down to it, the first step is vetting your SaaS vendors. Check for certifications like SOC 2 or ISO 27001 and dig into how they handle incident response. Don't just take their word for it, ask for documentation and see how they respond to breaches.
Totally. And once the vendor is approved, implement robust access controls right away. That means multi-factor authentication for everyone, role-based permissions, and for admins, time-bound privileged access. I love the just-in-time model admin access expires when it's no longer needed.
Tools like CloudEagle.ai really change the game for monitoring. They give you a single dashboard to see all apps, track usage, and spot shadow IT before it becomes a problem. Plus, real-time alerts help nip breaches in the bud.
And on the data front, don't forget regular backups, ideally stored across different locations. Combine that with strict data residency rules, and you're covered for compliance and disaster recovery. Also, get serious about secure file sharing. One misplaced attachment and sensitive info is out the door.
One more thing, don't ignore integrations and APIs. Every API should be audited, protected by gateways, and monitored for abuse. Throttling and strong authentication are key. Same goes for third-party plugins. Always review before connecting them.
That brings us to the final safety net, incident response. Let's dive into why a solid response plan can make or break your recovery from an attack. So, when the worst happens, a well-rehearsed incident response protocol truly minimizes damage. It's about knowing who does what, communication, escalation, and cleanup so you don't scramble under pressure.
Those post-incident reviews might sound tedious, but they're goldmines for improvement. Every breach or near miss is a lesson maybe there's a process gap, or a training need you hadn't spotted. Over time, you get sharper and your defenses get stronger.
And on the compliance side, automating access reviews and maintaining real-time audit trails saves so much hassle, especially when audit season rolls around. It also helps you spot dormant accounts or outdated permissions that often slip through the cracks.
I've seen so many companies trust vendors blindly or skip reviewing integrations. Big mistake. Always check contracts for clear breach notification clauses and access requirements. And definitely deactivate or delete old user accounts. Those can turn into backdoors for hackers.
Before we wrap up, maybe we should share a quick, actionable checklist so listeners can start shoring up their SaaS security right away.
Absolutely. Let's run through the essentials. First, vet your SaaS vendors. Ask for SOC 2 and ISO 27001 certifications, demand clear incident response plans, and check their encryption standards.
Next, implement multi-factor authentication and role-based access controls everywhere. Automate onboarding and offboarding, so people only have access while they're with you and nothing lingers after they leave.
Continuous monitoring is huge. Use tools to detect shadow IT, track license usage, and get real-time alerts for suspicious activity. Review all third-party integrations and APIs, and set strict security policies around them.
And don't forget encryption data at rest, data in transit, everything. Double-check your incident response plan, make sure your compliance docs are up to date, and schedule quarterly audits. Proactive beats reactive every time.
If you're looking for a shortcut, platforms like CloudEagle.ai bundle a lot of this together: discovery, governance, automation. With the right tools and a strong checklist, you can turn SaaS security from a stress point into a strategic advantage.
That's the goal, making security simple, effective, and scalable. Thanks for tuning in, and stay secure out there. Thanks for joining us today. Take care, and we'll catch you on the next episode of Insights in Minutes.